Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go over tips and ways to increase your profit while trading. These aren't so obvious maybe for some people that have already been trading, but this is stuff that I do in order to collect as much profit as I can. What works for me may not work for you, but it definitely is part of my strategy. We're just going to get right into it. So one thing that I do is I do a trail stop loss. So what that means is, let's say I get in for a sell right here, and this is my stop loss above the previous high. Once it hits my take profit, that's TP1 for take profit 1. I have more than one take profit if I think it's going to continue. Once it hits my take profit, I'll take my stop loss and I'll move it down. If it does continue, then I'll take my stop loss again and move it down. So that way, every time if it turns around, I'm chasing my trade down as it's collecting profit. So if it turns around and hits my stop loss, it's going to stop me out with profit already in my account. So it will run risk free, and on top of that, it will run with profit. Another thing that I will do is when I do move my stop loss sometimes, I will take my stop loss and move it right underneath my break even point. So that's right underneath my entry if it hits my take profit, and I think that I want it to just ride out in a way. I'll put it right underneath my entry point, so that way if it does turn around, it does still run risk free, and it will stop me out right under my entry point, so it will still stop me up with some profit. So that's if you want, like, if you don't want to trail your stop loss and you want some cushion just in case it's going to turn around and do a big dip again to create these higher lows and lower lows, then you can do that as well. So that's another way to use the stop loss to increase your profit. Another thing that I do, tip number 3, is instead of putting in one trade, let's say I'm going to put in I'm going to put in a sell and I want it to be a standard lot. That means a 1.00. Instead of putting in a complete standard lot with one trade, I separate the trade into 2 trades usually. So I'll have 2 trades open with a 0.50 lot size. So I think, in my opinion, it's easier for me psychologically and generally speaking to trade when I spread my lot size out, just in case I do have to close one of my trades and leave the other one open to so I don't lose as much profit. Or seeing if I do go negative and I do have some drawback, seeing negative 50 on each account is a lot easier than just seeing a full negative $100. So that helps me psychologically speaking. So another tip would be to take partial profits on a trade. You could also take partial losses on a trade. Okay, so for example, if you are in with a 0.50 and you're positive $500, let's just say, and you're at take profit 1, what I usually do when I get to my first take profit is I'll go to close the trade, but I won't actually close it. So you could press close. I'll actually put a clip in here. You could press close, and then where it shows your lot size, change the number that you want, and before where it says close, before you close it, it will show you how much you're closing that trade out with. So if you're positive 500 and you want to close half of the trade, half of the 0.50 is 0.25, it will say close with $250. So you can do that, and it will close out half of your trade, keep the other half running, so keep 0.25 running, and you'll add some profit to your account and let the rest run. You could also do that in reverse. If you're negative, you could close out some of your trade and it'll run with whatever is left over. So like I said, I'll put a clip in so you could understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to show you really quick what I mean about closing out partial trade, whether it's a buy or a sell. So let's say I'm going to go in quickly for a buy. I go in quickly for a buy. You see it's negative 17. In order to close partials, you'll hold it, press close right here where it shows the lot. And I want to close half of $1 is 50 cents. You see it now, it says close with $8. Before, with the whole lot, it said close with 16. You could close even less than that with negative $4. It'll tell you what you'll be closing with, and then once you choose, you could press close, and now you only have half of your trade running. And it added what you closed out with. It put it in your daily trades, took it from your balance, or it would add to your balance if you were in profit, and then you'll have the remainder running. And the last thing that I suggest you do is, if you are going to keep a trade overnight, I suggest you reduce your risk. So close out, like I said on the last one, close out some of your trade and move your stop loss, do what you have to do, but reduce some of your risk, because at night when the session changes, usually the market does a huge jump. So even though the trend can be a sell, it could do a huge buy jump. The market is the most volatile, or jumps the most 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after a session is changing, especially when sessions overlap. That's when the market moves the most. So I suggest you close out some of your trade. Went to sleep before having open trades, and I was positive, and I woke up and they either hit my stop loss or I ended up negative, and I had to wait throughout the day for the session to change again in order to gain profit or to be back in profit. So definitely do that. If you can't watch or look at your trade or check it, then you probably should, unless you're a swing trader, then you probably should close out some to protect your account, move your stop loss to protect your account, do what you have to do. But unless you plan on holding this trade for a very long time, like I said, swing trading, then don't keep your trades overnight. That never worked for me. So that's just one of the things that I suggest you do. These are just a couple of things that I do while I trade. If you want to try it out, you can as well. These are tips that I have for you that I found that worked the best. I will do more videos on perfecting entry points, how to read candlesticks, how to read charts, and so on and so forth. If there's anything that you guys want to see, please comment down below. And like I said, every week I'm going to be doing a giveaway, free month access to the Signal group. All you have to do to enter is like the video and comment. The more you comment, the more chance you have to win. And if you'd like access to the free group that I run, the link will be in the description. I give free trading ideas every week, so just come join us. And thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.